What's up YouTube, Jamie the Kid Zero's here, and I'm back with like my first deck profile in a month. I thought it was time I'd probably churn out some actual content, and now that I've got some new stuff from Photon Shockwave, I thought now was a good time to do it. So if you've read the title, you'll now realise that I'm about to profile a water deck. So without further ado, let's actually get straight into the monster lineup. First up, I run 3 Watt Giraffe. It is the most powerful base Watt monster, and it really clears the way for a field's worth of Watt monsters to direct attack, negating your opponent from using spell traps after its attack. So attacking first with this is a really ideal strategy. Again, Watt Giraffe, it's just a staple in Watt decks simply because it can put out the most damage of any other Watt. Next up, without being a synchro, of course. Next up, we have 3 Watt Cobra, a new addition from Photon Shockwave. I think it's a really brilliant card. Again, like most Watts, it can attack directly. But when it does attack directly and inflicts damage, you can add any 1 Watt monster from your deck to your hand, which can be really useful in supplying things like Watt Cancel or just getting that specific Watt you need for the job. Next up, I run 3 Watt Dragonfly, the obligatory searcher. I think Watt Dragonfly is probably one of the best searchers in the game, simply because its effect works when it's destroyed by anything, card effect, monster, whatever. So you don't have those, tricky effects where you can get around an over summoner by destroying it with a card effect. So again, a really nice searcher. I run 2 Watt Pheasant, mainly for dealing with Exceeses now. It's another monster that can attack directly, and it can then remove from play a monster after it's attacked directly. So it attacks directly, select 1 monster your opponent controls, remove it from play, and it comes back in the end phase, I do believe. Next up, I run 1 Watt Barracks for my tuners. I think this is a really cool card if it can get the direct attack in. It can't attack directly over monsters.
Unless you have a Watt key.
Unless you've got Watt key, of course. But I don't run Watt key in here because I think it slows the deck down. I run 1 Watt Mole for those annoying defense position monsters. Again, it's more to be searched out by Dragonfly for situational, but it's quite useful. Watt Woodpecker, brilliant when equipped with Watt Cube because it allows you to attack twice. Again, can't attack directly, but it attacks twice. Really cool. And of course, Watt Fox, another tuner. I'd side another one. I haven't actually sided it for this side deck, but I would side another one in hindsight. So this can be really useful against GBs because your opponent can't can't special summon after it's been destroyed by battle. So if it gets destroyed by GB, of course they can't do the special summon. Then we've got the non-light sworn lights, Honest, Effect Veiler, and Thunder King. Thunder King, of course, being one of the really big cards of the meta right now. I'd run more than one if I had more than one, but sadly I've only got the one. And, of course, 1 Dark has got to be Gauze, because in a deck with such low attack points, you really don't see Gauze coming. That's it for the monster lineup. Onto the spells. If you're running loads of low attack monsters, you're going to want to run at least 1 Creature Swap. Creature Swap is a really useful card in this deck, because if you're going to be hiding behind a lot of cards like Gravity Bind and things like that, and your opponent is going to build up a field, build up bigger monsters, so the least you can do is drop a low attack Watt monster, even a Watt Dragonfly, creature swap them over, attack the Dragonfly, get a search. It's just a really versatile card in this deck. Mind Control, I run a couple of tuners and I side deck a couple more, well I will be side decking a couple more. Mind Control, and of course with the Exceed era, this makes it really easy to nick a level 4 and Exceed with it. I run 3 Messenger of Peace, which is the card that Watts were pretty much designed to work with. Almost Messenger of Pizza, as Galtaku would name it. Almost every Watt bar Watt Hydra has an attack of less than 1500, can all attack under this, and quite frankly 100 life points is absolutely nothing to pay for it. So it's the key card for this deck, gotta be run at 3. The card which makes Watts actually strong as normal monsters is Watt Cube, brilliant card. Gain 100 for every gain 100 attack for every Watt Thunder monster in the grave. And instead of that, you can just equip it to a Watt monster and then send it to the graveyard from the field to give them plus 1000 permanently. Next up, we have the staples of Dark Hole. Sorry, I moved the camera. Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Book of Moon. And of course, we're running a deck which doesn't special summon much, so why not run 3 Duality now they're at Super. That's it for the spell lineup. On to the trap lineup. I only run Gravity Bind at 1, even though it's up to 3. A lot of my monsters in this deck are level 4, so I only wanted 1 Gravity Bind. And again, with the Exceeders out, it's not that useful because an opponent can just Exceed under it. I run 1 Trap Dust Shoot. If you're running 3 Pot of Duality, why not run Dust Shoot? really useful card if you can get it on the first turn, especially when you want field control with this deck. Run one monster report Mirror Force because it's Mirror Force. I run 3 Watt Cancel. This card for me is the solemn warning of the Watt deck. Literally, it is if your opponent normal summons or special summons a card, you can flip this over, send 1 Watt monster from your hand to the grave, and trust me, you're going to get a lot of Watts in there with stuff like Watt Cobra kicking around. So this is going to be a really useful card. It makes this deck able to run 5 Solemn Warnings instead of 2. And then, of course, we run the obligatory Solemn Judgment. That's the main deck. Onto the extra. So we're going to be pretty standard, but I run 2 Catastor, because who doesn't want to run 2 Catastor? It's a brilliant card. I never want to run less than 2, because it's just so useful that if you can get into it twice, why not get into it twice? And I don't have any other good level 5, so Catastor it is. I run 1 Brionac, because it's Brionac. For the first time ever, I run lots of level 6s, because of course I run 2 Watt Chimera, this being Watts. Watt Chimera is an amazing card. If you can get this out and Messenger of Peace, under certain circumstances, you can pretty much win the game from there. But you can just literally keep attacking directly over and over. Your opponent keeps on putting 1 card back to the top of their deck. They can't do anything about the Messenger of Peace, so they can't get rid of Watt Chimera unless they've got effect damage. It can usually lock them out for game. Next up for my level 7s, I run 1 Watt Hydra. This is just situational. It's a walking gold sarcophagus. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's just in case. And my other level 7, of course, is Black Rose Dragon. Next up, my level 8s, I run 1 Stardust and 1 Scrap Dragon. Level 9s, I run 1 Trishula. Literally, these are in here just because just in case I get into them with stuff like Mind Control. And of course, I've got my Exceeders, so I've got 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Leviair, 1 Utopia, 1 Roach, and I side deck 2 Cyber Dragons, so I run Chimera Fortress Dragon. Alright, I do actually have a side deck prepared for you because I thought I'd actually make this a proper video because it's been ages since I did one. So I run 2 Cyber Dragons in the side deck for tying in with the Fortress Dragon. I run 2 Fossil Diner Pachycephalo because I don't special summon all that much, and this can be a really devastating card, and now that it's in Super, I can actually get a hold of it. Awesome. GB Hunter, which I'd actually switch out for Watt Fox in hindsight, so imagine this to be a Watt Fox. Again, just for dealing with GBs, and of course it'd be an extra tuner. Imagine this was Watt Fox, sorry. I run 1 Electric Virus for those Dragunities and Machina decks, just because Electric Virus is really fun when you can nick your opponent's monsters, quite frankly. And then Xyz or Synchro with them. I run 1 DD Crow, just because it's DD Crow and plants hate it. I run 1 Closed Forest, because I don't like Gravekeepers. I run 1 Smashing Ground for those bigger monsters like Christia and things like that. 1 MST, just in case. 2 Leeching the Lights, but I left the Leeching the Lights back at my house, because I'm back in uni now. I went home for a half term. So these would be Leeching the Lights if I hadn't left them home, because who doesn't love a field of Light Swans that's going to gain off of a Christia or a Hyperion, and then attack directly for lots and lots of damage?
Light Swans?
Sorry, not Light Swans, I've got Light Swans on the brain. Watts. Is that the second time? Okay, ignore every time I've said Light Swans, I mean Watts. I've just done too many duels with my Light Swans recently. I run 1 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, because of course I only really run the 1 Dark other than my extra deck. So Shadow Imprisoning really locks out things like Dark Worlds, can even lock out Tour Guides, things like that. Really useful card. I run 1 Chain Disappearance and 1 Debunk. Alright then guys, that has been my Watt deck. Now that the Photon Shockwave is out, this Watt deck I feel really comes into its own. I'm really pleased with how it is. I'm going to be doing some playtests, probably run it in the next tournament. That's another section. I'm going to do some tournament diaries soon. So yeah, watch this space guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this, any changes I can do. But yeah, I'll speak to you guys in the comment box below. Have a good one. Peace out.